is if you are a landlord, you have a responsibility that continues beyond your death. So if you're planning to rent your properties and leave them to your family, make sure there's a plan in place. Now again, if you have professional management, that certainly makes life a little bit easier, but especially if you're self-managing, make sure that you have an estate plan that includes keeping the rents going, that somebody knows where the rents are being paid to and stuff like that. Don't depend that something will happen there. So be careful about that. So do keep in mind that your estate plan may change if you do get into the rental business seriously. Or again, your tenants, your clients who you are selling rental properties to may also want to be careful about what they're doing, and it doesn't hurt to say, hey, you just bought a new house, or you just added your first couple rental properties. Have you updated your estate plan to make sure that somebody's going to be taking care of the show if you become disabled or pass away? And remember, with such a long living population today, we have a much higher chance of being disabled than we do of actually dying. And so people need to make appropriate estate plans in that regard also. I wanted to talk a little bit about the downside. I've already touched on several issues based on my own experience. Again, none of them came out terribly. I mean, we made money on the properties that we handled, even the one where the guy was burning candles. He didn't burn the place down, that was a good thing. We got him out of there without having to go to court to evict him, that was a good thing. And we needed to renovate the property anyway, and it came out beautifully. I mean, we took, literally took a sow's ear and turned it into a silk purse, and it rented very easily for the years I owned that property afterward. So it's not always the bad thing, but one of the things is I wanted to mention is the rental business is its own business. It's a serious business, and just as if you're operating any other business, you need to have cash in the bank, you need to have lines of credit, you need to have vendors that you work with on a regular basis. This is kind of the same thing, and so you need to have the financial wherewithal to stand a property if there was a problem with it. And I'll give you again, and I don't mean to overemphasize my own experience, but I'm a very long time landlord, is my main property sustained a major fire in July of 2016. We moved in last weekend, so 2 months shy of 2 years. Zero, we had one garage apartment was not damaged in the fire. We got rent on that apartment, a reduced rent, until October 1, and then we've had zero rental income from October 1 till May 1. And we do have tenants lined up to go move in May 1. But the point of the exercise is I didn't miss a single mortgage payment, I didn't miss the interest payment, I didn't miss taxes or insurance. But you have to have your financial plan in place so that if something bad happens to one of your properties, hopefully not more than one, but if you've got several properties in a neighborhood and the neighborhood floods, you see how you might have a situation where you need to cover a little bit more. It doesn't mean you have to have it all in cash. If you've got lines of credit that you haven't tapped, even credit cards that have big limits on them that you're not using, it doesn't all have to be, oh my God, I've got to have $50,000 in cash in my pocket. It doesn't work that way. But having rental property should be part of a good comprehensive financial plan. And don't be shy as real estate professionals to say to people, look, we're glad to help you buy this property and it looks like it's going to be a great rental property, but talk to your estate planners and talk to your tax people and make sure that they're working with other qualified professionals that help them get their life in order so that this becomes a positive part of their experience and they come back to you and buy more properties. Because what we find is that a lot of our clients here are multiple owners, 4 and 5 house owners or more. And so if you get into this business and you do the right things over time, it can be a very good business. One of the things is that repairs are expensive. The accountants call it a sinking fund, I believe, is to make sure you understand that every 10 years an air conditioner will need to be replaced, sometimes less. We just replaced a 8-year-old unit in Galveston, 8 years, and the building has multiple units. The unit we didn't replace is almost 20 years old. So when I heard that a unit was blown, I was kind of hoping it was the older unit, and it wasn't, it was the newer unit. But the older unit is a commercial unit. The newer unit is the usual trash that people will sell you if you don't specify the brand names. So if you're gonna be a landlord and a successful landlord, you can get familiar with what's good and what's not good out there. And I'm a huge fan of doing it right the first time. So, but it's a pricey deal. So again, having some financial backing, having some wherewithal to handle problems are pretty key part of it.